Good evening. It's Thursday. Thank God it's Thursday because that means the weekend's coming. And, I guess the old saying was thank God it's Friday. But welcome back to our podcast. Troy and I are back for our weekly. Here. We have a lot of fun stuff going on today. We got Diamond Lil coming up. We got to spend some time with her. And I get the pleasure of playing with her Saturday at Mad Anthony's.
Formerly
Munchie with the Humanity. So that's going to be a real treat. Diamond's going to go on early. I believe we start at 8 o'clock. So check it out. Love to see you guys out there. We got Lil. We got our tips for the day. We got some video. So we're going to start off. Troy and I are going to jam a little bit. And then we'll talk with Lil. So welcome. In the sky, Butch taps a beat, Dwayne slides in, Greg's on the Hammond B3, and Barry knows that's what dreams are for. Well, it seems so real, like I've been down this road before. I know they fly on dreams today. Hope to never see blue skies turn gray. I see your face, seems so real, like I've been around this place, and Barry knows things we'll never see, but it seems so real, like I live in me. And I know that on dreams today, hope to never see Welcome back. Thanks for coming. We're going to check out Lil. We had a great time with her. She came by, hung out. She's been around this town for a while, and she's also been a legend to me. She's such a great singer. She has such a unique voice, and we got a little insight.
Drum tip is I was getting a signal. Is that what you were saying, Dave? Yes.
Yeah, it's time for tip of the day.
Tip of the day.
And then we'll get around and talk to Lil. So here we go.
Right on. Hi, I'm Jamie Simon. This is today's drum tip. One of the biggest things that a lot of people come to me and they end up with problems about, or not end up with them, but they have them when they come to me, is speed. Now, there are a few keys to being able to play fast, but you may not like what you have to do to be able to do them, which is practice. Without a lot of gaining control of the stick, you really aren't going to be able to play fast. You have to work at it to be able to get that. Now, there are a few things that you can do that'll help, but you have to start slow, make sure that the form of it's right, and then slowly work your way up. If you've got your stick working right, you're using your fingers and everything, what you need to start doing to gain speed is to play an accent and then a tap. Like that. Now, as that accent's actually a dead stroke, so with the dead stroke, it kills the stick, and that way you're able to stop and get your tap real easy. You're losing most of the motion from when you're playing, so that it helps you pick up a ton of speed. So, as it ends up there, and you just... If I try to do that without using that technique, my arm is going to feel like it's going to fall off after just only a few seconds. And the volume is just completely outrageous. So it's too much work, it's too loud. You need to learn the technique to be able to get that to really, really work. That's where the trick to speed is.
We have a treat for you today. Diamond Lil is with us. She's been around the city playing and done all the venues, and she's well known. I mean, she's legend to me. I was just so lucky to be able to play with you, and I'm not 100% sure how we got to meet, but I remember one of the first shows I ever got to play with you was the Sharon Rossi benefit.
Yeah.
And I remember doing that
10 years ago.
And earlier you had said that if it wasn't for Chili, one of our dear friends,
That's right.
that we wouldn't have gotten together. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, Chili. Yeah, he had an idea. He said, Lil, I got a friend that has the Phoenix and he wants to do a living room session. And I thought, living room session, what? What would that look like in a bar? If the sun goes behind the clouds and you feel like it's gonna rain and the moon ain't shining bright and the stars won't shine for you tonight. If life gets hard to understand and your love life gets way out of hand, well, come to mama. Come on to mama.
How did you get started in music?
When I was 16, I put an all-girl band together called the Electric Yo-Yos. And I used to go out to the Lantern all the time and see like REO Speedwagon and Roadworks and all these great, great bands.
Where was the Lantern?
The
I've never been
on
there.
Ardmore.
Okay.
And the band name again? Your band?
Electric Yo-Yos.
Great fucking band name, by the way.
Electric
Great fucking
Yo-Yos.
band name.
Thank you, thank you. Electric Yo-Yos, and we knew like 6 songs.
What followed that?
Electric Yo-Yos. Then I started with a band called Magnum. Man, those guys, I really learned the hard way how to be broken into a band with solid musicians and solid rehearsals and just take no prisoner bullshit. Not gonna take any bullshit tonight. No, you better know it and you better let's do it. And so I was with them for 5 years, Magnum.
Who are your biggest influences?
My biggest influences would have, there's a lot of influences. I like everyone from Joan Armatrading to Joni Mitchell to Etta James.
All right, here we go. Sometime I get a good feeling, yeah, yeah. I get a feeling like I never had before. No, no, no. And I wanna tell you right now that I believe. I believe. 2, 3, 4. Something got a hold on me, yeah. Something got a hold on me right now, right now. Let me tell you now, I got a feeling, I feel so.
I've just been influenced all over the place. Bonnie Raitt, by just so many,
Bonnie's
but
great,
I've tried to never really copy any, take their style or steal their
You
gig.
have such a nice, unique voice that
thank you.
I think that you can perform any of those, but keep the essence of you, which is one of the biggest things that attracted to me to your singing is the timbre and tonality of your singing is amazing. I mean, the second you sing, we know it's you. And JJ and Kyle and Chili, they knew you before I did, so they all said, "Hey man, you got to hear her." When I did, I was like, "Oh my God!"
That's really cool.
So and you did you sang with us on Chili's tribute. I got an album here, or a CD, I guess. It's a good question. Is the name of it, and it's a good question. Yeah. Will you tell us a little bit about this?
So way back in the 90s, the early 90s, we all got together. I had moved to New York for a while and started writing, and I had quite a few songs. Matter of fact, everything I wrote on the East Coast is on here, and we just all got together and decided to work on a CD. That was our project. All original. Let's produce a CD. And we were stuck in we were in a garage studio for almost 3 years. 2 years, 2 years, and then this came out. So it took us a year and a half, maybe.
When you write a song like that, and then you have these great musicians, take me a little bit through the process of that. Do you hear it in your head and you get some lyrics going? How do you pass that on to a guy like Gio or Cooley and say, here's what I'm feeling, and walk me through some of that
That's
process.
a great question. For me, I had the lyrics charted, had no idea what melody I wanted. I kind of had a reference for a tempo or a style. I kind of heard it a little bit in my head, but if I heard something else that was no problem, I was open.
Sure, yeah.
And Mark and I, he was the bass player, and Mark and I would sit down in the beginning, and I would go through, like, Oh No, It's Really Real is on here. And it was a true story, and I just started singing. My neurologist gave me a prescription to fill. He said, everything you need is in this little white pill. Before I knew it, I was slipping out of control, fighting an illusion deep inside my soul. And he just started playing this bass line that was really heavy.
Those lyrics have a cadence to themselves. And you can feel the
starts
cadence
popping
already.
up. Yeah,
You're just like,
yeah, I'm ready to start
tapping
playing
your
the
toes,
song.
right?
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I love the cadence on that as you were doing that.
It was a true story from a pharmaceutical drug they gave me for a car wreck I was in. It was called Zomax. And I went down at Madison, down to the regatta, and my cousin was in the car accident with me. And I just got the prescription from my neurologist. Went down there. I didn't want to take anything until, it was evening and whatever. And Tommy and I were laying down in the living room watching, or listening to music and talking and getting ready to go to sleep. He's my cousin. And I said, you want to try one of these? I just got them today from my neurologist. I got to take one. My back is killing me. I took one. He took one. Well, in the middle of the night, this female Zulu warrior face would appear like this, a full face, painted out everything. And it freaked me out so bad, I would wake up and then I would go right back to sleep again. So I get up the next morning, and before I could say anything, my cousin said, don't ever give me another one of those pills again. And I said, why? What did you see? And he had the same experience I had that night in my dream.
Was it a warrior face also?
It was a warrior
Really?
face.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And then I found out that the Zomax they took off the market because it was causing heart attacks.
Oh, really? Didn't say anything about didn't say anything about the hallucinations. Or
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't a hallucination.
Maybe it
you
wasn't.
really
Sounds like
really
it was
Oh
a
no,
mind
it's
from
really real.
It's really real.
Oh no, it's really real. Oh no, it's really real. That night seemed like 1,000 days. She came to
I would say that the majority of the tunes on this are really driven and really guitar driven.
Sounds like George.
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
We would come into rehearsal. Mark would have a bass line, dun 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 dun, and then Gio would kick in, and start playing something. Then Cooley would fall right in. And what was so cool and magical about the four of us is that it was like on take one. It was.
Yes.
We didn't falter or alter anything too much one way or the other. It was pretty spot on from the jump. And then I would grab my
great.
pen and pencil and paper and just start going, okay, this sounds like to me, and then come up with a hook or.
Yeah. How do you feel about we're playing with Lil this Saturday at the Munchie, Mad Anthony, I guess, right down on Broadway. So,
Come on down. Come
Yeah,
down.
come on out.
So maybe we can play the song.
Okay.
Or maybe you can pick one
Okay.
of these. Maybe you can pick one of these from this album.
That would be.
And,
I would love to do that. I
We'd
haven't.
love to play one of these.
Okay.
So,
I haven't sang one.
be like-
I haven't sang this for years.
So if you guys aren't doing anything this weekend, this Saturday, come down to the Munchie.
Yeah.
Is it the Munchie? Is it Mad Anthony? It's probably Mad Anthony's. No?
Mad Anthony.
On Broadway?
Yeah.
Mad Anthony.
Mad Anthony. So that's great. Good Question is the album. You guys will be able to find it on our website. So Phoenix Records, thephoenixrecords.com. It's a great album. So if you get a chance, spend some time with it.
Yeah. It's right here. I got it. It's this one? Yeah.
All right, well, this is my business right here. I got a heart full of trouble, a house full of pain, and things are bad as they ever been. With trouble with money, I'd have more money than any man should. I'm open for business in your neighborhood. I said the blues is my business, and business is good. If I had $1 for every broken heart, I'd be drinking fine wine and eating caviar. With trouble with money, I'd have more money than any man could. I'm open for business in your neighborhood. I said the blues is my business, and business is good. Oh yeah, it's so good. Open for business in your neighborhood. I said the blues is my business, and business is good. It's a world full of trouble. It's a world full of pain. I'll take your problem, but I won't take no blame. If trouble were money, I'd have more money than any man should. You know, I'm open for business in your neighborhood. I said the blues is my business, and business is good. Go ahead, play a little bit. Well, it's a world full of trouble. It's a world full of pain. my business, and business is good. The blues is my business. The blues is my business. Hey, hey, the blues is my business. Oh, the blues is my business. I'm open for business in your neighborhood. I said the blues is my business, and business is good. Oh, yes, it is. It's so good, so good. Got the blues now. Thank you.
Diamond Will, right there. Give it up for Diamond Will.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you.
Welcome back. We got audio this time, so we're still learning our trade here. So that was Blues Is My Business by Etta James. We got to do that from the living room, so that was a good time. What do you think about Lil?
A treat, like I said earlier. She that no one could have heard earlier, but she is a treat to work with. We've had the chance to have her here many times, and it's easy to forget how many times we have had the chance to work with her until you see it all gathered up in a nice little piece like that. She did some things on the Chili tribute that changed the feel of the song completely and just took it up to a level. I mean, it was already fantastic, but
she's instantly takes a song and makes it better. Whenever she sings on anything, she takes it, makes it better. She brings in melody. She brings in such a unique timbre and great sounding vocals.
There's a
professionalism.
Yeah, and there's a sincerity like in her voice, and like you can't fake greatness.
Oh yeah,
and she has it, and
she's got it. Yeah,
you feel it.
Spades. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's we got to listen to her album too. Good question. She made it with a lot of the greats around town. See who's on here. G. O'Connor, guitar and vocals, and he mixed it down. Mark Paul Smith on bass and vocals. Tom Cooley, drums. I think you guys probably have heard about all those guys that are heavyweights around town. And it's a great album. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. So it was well done. Great lyrics, great musicianship on it.
And the insights that Lil gave us really helped. When I listened to the song, knowing the stories behind it, it just took me into the experience so much more.
We talked to her for a long time,
actually,
and we didn't get all of it on this, of course, because we're kind of limited on time. But we got to walk down memory lane. We got to talk about the Hot Spot, and that was one of the hottest blues clubs in town. Mm-hmm. And back that the open blues jams were legendary, and I was young. I mean, that was in the '90s, so I was a little too intimidated to get up there and play with everything. It was Governor Davis and G Money up there. I remember seeing Craig Guy up there and just going, geez, who's this guy? He sings like a bird and is an amazing guitar player, and all these cats at the blues jams at the Hot Spot, I think it was off of Calhoun. I know it was right down from Boom Booms, and Lil went out there a lot, and she got to talk about that, and I think it was one of the first place I saw Duke Tomato, which is a treat. We got to talk to Duke Tomato's management, and Duke's gonna come up here. Once we can nail down a date, he's gonna come up, and
awesome.
We're gonna get to have him in the studio, play a little bit, talk a little bit.
Yeah, really pick his brain some.
Pick his brain. That's gonna be really neat. We also are gonna have Hip Lobotomist coming up soon. Mm-hmm. That's Troy's band. It was Robert Dorian.
Robert Dorian.
Keyboard player extraordinary.
It's Robert's band. I'm just in it.
You just said it. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. I understand that. Yeah, and he's the synth god. He's awesome, man.
He is.
I get to play with him.
Inspiration to work with.
I get to play with him in the Steely Dan cover band, and he always brings it. You know, he brings it to the table.
One of the great joys in my life is the people I get to play with, and Robert is one of those main people.
And we're lucky to grab him. Robert's generally on the road. Mm-hmm. He tours all over the world with all the bands that you know. Yeah. You know, so it's great to be able to have him, and I believe he's in the studio next week.
Yeah, I think we're going to hear from the man himself.
So we'll do a Hippopotamus in the studio next week and get to talk to Robert about their new album. And I guess with that, we'll have Hippopotamus take us out. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
So thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Somebody got it wrong, so I don't know who to complain to, but I feel the need to tell you what you're doing wrong. I wanna tell you what you're doing wrong, 'cause it's obvious to me what you're doing wrong. Don't you see how obvious it is to me? I gotta tell you what you're doing wrong. You're not listening to me. I gotta figure it out if you haven't figured out that by now. I'm gonna stand here on my mountain top and tell you when you can get off. 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 It's true, you see it there. Right in front of you. What you doing wrong? I wanna tell you what you're doing wrong, 'cause it's obvious to me what you're doing wrong. Don't you see how obvious it is to me? I can tell you what you're doing wrong. You're not listening to me. What you're doing wrong. I want to tell you what you're doing wrong, 'cause it's obvious to me what you're doing wrong. Don't you see how obvious it is to me? I can tell you what you're doing wrong. You're not listening.